Hello and welcome back to my basement. This is Jeremiah Wolf. Today, I just want to show you real quick something I've been working on, and I'm just gonna kind of open it up to everybody. It's Don't get too excited. So I've been past couple weeks been studying VXLAN. It's something I haven't really done before. So this is my even G. This is what I've been working on. I gotta say, it's in cases like this, it is so nice to have a powerful even G server. And I just like a month or maybe I don't know, recently I doubled the RAM in the server, and it's a good thing because I set up this lab and I have all these Nexus 9Ks running. So right now I have what is it, 7 9Ks running, uh, plus a few other things, nothing too big, but 7 9Ks. And I was having some weird issues where uh, I would be losing packets were dropping, and I think it was a resource thing. So the just FYI, the default template seems to not give you enough resources. Although they did say in the recent EvenG update, just came out like yesterday, the day before, that they changed the default template. So I haven't messed with that yet. But anyway, so I'm running each of mine with 16 gig of RAM and 4 CPUs, and doing that, all those weird problems kind of went away. But anyway, working on VXLAN, and look, I don't know about you, but one of the things that has really been a huge benefit to me in my career is as I do things, I like to make templates. Um, in fact, I have had tons of templates over the years for tons of different various technologies. One of the things is like, you work on something and you're working on it for a few weeks or a couple months. You're getting good at it, something you're doing all the time. But then, you put it down and it might be months or, a year, even 2 years sometimes before you touch it again. And then, of course, your boss comes to you and said, hey, didn't you do that project with such and such? And you're like, yeah, like, I don't know, a year and a half ago. I haven't looked at it since. And they're like, okay, great, because this is happening. So what I need you to do is put in a change request by 2 o'clock this afternoon, so we can rush it through approval. And then I need you to come in tonight at midnight, implement that change. And oh, the customer has this big project going on. They need it right now, and they can only be down for 37 minutes right at midnight. So you can't make a single mistake. Okay, great. You go ahead and do that, and then I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning at your usual time. Yeah, I think we have all been there. So, so anyway, templates is a great way to help with that, making templates, and especially nowadays when you are required, as we've been talking about, required to know so much. You're required to know so many technologies from so many different vendors. Templates are going to be key. So I'm actually going through and redoing a bunch of my templates. This is going to be a long process for me as I have time. Some things as I'm learning, some things going back and redoing, and just putting together little tools for me to act as templates or act as reminders. Like, hey, if it's been 6 months since you've touched EIGRP, maybe you don't quite remember, well, how exactly does the summary work. I don't remember. So you just go look at the template real quick. I found that poring over Cisco documentation, it can be real hit or miss. Sometimes there is so much there. You might be looking for a basic setup of some, relatively common technology, and the document is 500 pages, and then you're going through and you're like, okay, what of this do I need? What don't I need? Oftentimes their configs are 2 or 3 times as long as you actually need them to be. Sure, maybe it'd be helpful if you knew all those various options and different things you can do, but usually you just need to get it working, and all that's. Or sometimes you go through and you can't find anything. You're looking at posts on Reddit to try to figure out how to do something. So I thought, anyway, so I've been working on this VXLAN stuff for a couple of weeks, and I put together some templates. So let's take a look at that real quick. Okay, so boom. Yeah, okay, so I threw it up on GitHub Jeremiah Wolf. There you go. Have at it. I put it on GitHub because one, it's an easy place for me to look at. And then two, hey, if you guys want to get involved, Listen, I'm not trying to make this a big thing. I'm gonna be real clear about this. I am not. I don't have the time to make this a big thing. So, if you want to do a pool, or if you want to make some changes, if you want to branch it off, clean it up a little bit, make some changes, do a pull request. Hey, I'm not going to promise anything's going to be approved. I'm just saying, feel free to take a look at it, or feel free to just use this as an idea for doing your own thing. Like I said, I'm not trying to make anything out of this, but so right now there's only two up there. This basic VXLAN EVPN with Nexus OS. So I wrote it in Markdown, so it'd be relatively easy to do a little bit of formatting. I started off doing it just in text. That's how I've always done all my templates, is just in text. But I found, like, man, when you're something like this VXLAN, there's a lot of like, well, if this, then that, maybe you want to do this, maybe you don't want to do that. Here's the reason why you're doing this. And I felt like I really need to put that in there, because if I don't know why I'm doing something, if I come back to this, a year later and I haven't done it, I'm like, shoot, why do we have to do this part again? So I put the minimum amount in. This isn't a training document. This is really just the minimum amount to help you, or help me get VXLAN set up. So I went through, I have the complete step-by-step of what I would do if I was starting from scratch, going through setting it all up. I have it all broken down with hyperlinks, so you can click on it on an example. And then I have, in this document, I have the complete configs, if you want to look at that for some reason, and a quick little topology. And then I just finished this one up a few minutes ago, which is why I'm making the video. Another one with, that's not what I wanted. What am I doing? There we go. Sorry about that. VXLAN EVPN with VPC, and then also integrating. So we got VPC going on, and then also here's a router hanging off the fabric. How do we get those routes into the fabric and across, and everything redistributed? So I have all that in here. Same thing. I a little bit of a write-up just to kind of give a little bit of a refresher, and then just going through the configs. And then also what I've tried to do, and I did it better in this second document. I don't know, maybe I'll go back and redo the first one a bit when I have time, but probably not. Just realistically, probably not. But I made it very clear the verification commands, so that I can, you can look at things as you're going through and check. I didn't do any debugs, just show commands. And this was all because, so let me tell you this. So that's the whole point of this video. GitHub.com/Jeremiah Wolf. Feel free to check it out. Feel free to make a branch and make it your own thing, or just use this as an idea of something you can do for yourself. But again, I'm not trying to make this something. So I'm not. You can send me suggestions, or you could do a pull request with your own files or whatever. But don't expect me to even respond. All right, I'm just going to be honest about that. I don't have time. This isn't a thing I'm looking to manage right now, but who knows? Sorry, just trying to be honest about it. Yeah. So here's the thing. I was doing Kawar, kbits.live. I was doing Kawar's CCIE data center videos on Nexus and VXLAN. Not because I'm going after the CCIE data center, just I need to learn some stuff I wanted to learn. And I talk about this with my CCIE, with my review of his CCIE Enterprise material, and that is he never teaches you a single show command, a single debug. He gives you like the most briefest of explanation of lecture, but by and large, his entire program is him just typing in the commands that in the labs to get the thing up and running. But everything just works because he's practiced all this stuff before. So it's good in the sense that you see everything, you touch it all, but you don't really learn a whole lot. So I'm really like with the enterprise, I felt like it was a good starting point if you have the money to spend, a good starting point before Narvik. Just so that like the stuff is in there, the commands are in there, you've touched it all. So when you get to Narvik, you're not a complete noob at everything. But oh my goodness, this data center one, it's even worse. We get to the we're doing VXLAN, and his own lab doesn't work. And keep in mind, I am watching the most recent version of his class. He's not taught this class numerous times. He's gone through these labs numerous times. So he couldn't get it working based on his notes, which, like he acts like, when you do Narvik does this stuff off the top of his head, and he genuinely does it off the top of his head. Kawar kind of tries to present it like he's doing it off the top of his head, but I almost guarantee he has copious notes and scripts that he's following. He gets upset if you throw him off track because it's hard for him to get back on track. I'm not trying to crap on the guy. I've paid for 2 years. That's almost $3,000 I've paid for his website. So, I'm not, obviously I'm using it, and there's a lot of stuff that there's just no one else out there even teaching, even at his not particularly great level. So, it is what it is. But anyway, he runs into a problem doing VXLAN, and he can't fix it. And it's clear, while he does know some show commands and stuff, he's not even sure really what's going on. And that was like, whoa, dude, like you're teaching me this and you can't even, that's rough. And this is your lab, your example that you wrote. And then so similarly, I'm going through his labs later by myself, and I run into a problem. It's not working. And I am just stuck. And I'm like, at this point, I have no recourse. He doesn't teach troubleshooting in the lab, which is absurd, in his course, which is absurd. You're taking a CCIE course. He doesn't teach troubleshooting. Okay, like, man, I like the guy because I think his heart's in the right place, and he teaches so much. But you gotta call it what it is, and it's just like, dude, come on, how can you teach a CCIE course without troubleshooting? His course should seriously be at least 50%, if not twice as long as they are. But he pumps out the material so he can make money because he's not Narvik. So Narvik charges $4,000 or $5,000 for one class, whereas this guy charges $1,000 for everything. So, he's it's a business. So whatever. I'm sorry, I'm kind of rambling because he frustrates me. But so I had to go find other training. I ended up getting I found a teacher on Udemy, which I've never really used before, and it was excellent. Excellent. And the funny thing was, within the first, just because of his lectures were so much better in the Udemy course, within the first hour of this course, which wasn't too long, I knew exactly why the lab that Kawar was doing didn't work. Like, wow. So that was like, okay, I made the right choice in doing this Udemy course. So unfortunately, Udemy is kind of hit or miss, but anyway, okay. So that's the where's it at? Here it is. GitHub.com/Jeremiah Wolf. Take a look if you're interested. Whatever. If you're not, cool. Peace. See you.